Hello guys and welcome to Laravel 7 tutorials. So guys, in the previous video we successfully implemented the user functionality for the admin dashboard. So let's say if in any case an admin user wants to see all the registered user of our blogging system, he can simply navigate to users link right here. Okay, so here I'm just displaying all the basic user and not the admin user. So just in case, let's say even by mistake the admin wouldn't be able to delete himself from the blogging system. Okay, so just for a security reason. Okay guys, so guys, in this video we are going to implement the delete functionality that is right here. So let's say if I want to if I or an admin wants to delete a specific user, he can simply delete it from right here. But guys, there is a short note that this delete functionality is going to be a bit different from the others. Why guys? Because in this case we are not just deleting a specific user right here, but we are going to delete all the related record of that specific user. For example, this test user have some blogs, some of them are published and some of them are on, let's say, awaiting approval list. And other than that, the most important part that I'm making this delete functionality separately is one of the biggest reason, that is with the help of guys, let's say with the help of the relationship, and you know we have already implemented the cascade attribute in the migrations files. So let's say if I'm going to delete this specific user, we are going to not just delete this specific user, but we are going to delete all the related records, for example the blogs that are related to this specific user. So just what you need to do is delete a specific user and all the related records are gone. But to make this video separately I'm handling this video separately, this functionality separately, because we want to delete the images from right here, because these images are related to specific blogs. So let's say if in any case we are deleting a user, we are deleting the blogs as well. So we don't need the related images right here. So that's why we are making this video separately, and we are going to see how can we do that. So let's start. And guys, in order to implement the delete functionality, what we need to do is we can simply navigate to users.js right here. Okay, and we don't need to do anything on the blade side, so I'm not going to open it for now. Okay guys, so in the previous video we implemented this data tables for the users, and now let's implement the delete functionality, and for that we need to make some changes. So let's say in this case the class name would be not delete category but delete user. So let's change it right here. Let's move forward, and now we are going to look for a class event. Let's say if somebody clicks on a class, the name would be, the specific name would be, in this case just like this one, delete user. So let's just paste it right here. Okay, so now we are looking for a click event on this class, delete user. Let's move forward. We are preventing the default behavior of the browser, and we are getting that ID with the help of $this attribute, and this means right here whatever the link you are going to click, you are going to get the relevant ID or the related ID. For example, in this case, let's inspect this one. If I'm going to click this one, I'm going to get this ID right here. See, 2. Okay, so I hope everything is clear because we have already discussed it many times. Okay guys, so let's make some changes related to Swellfire. So this is the confirmation, so you won't be able to revert this. I don't need to make any changes right here, but yeah, right here. So yes, delete user. That's it. Let's move forward, and once the confirmation is received, what we need to do is we need to pass the AJAX request or send the AJAX request. So this time we need a specific route, a new route. So in this case it would be delete user, and we are getting the ID from right here whenever we are going to click on this class. Okay guys, so the type of the method would be get right here, and let's see if we can change anything in the success. Yes, right here. So delete, sorry, user deleted successfully. Yeah, and we are reloading the table, so not an issue. And we are printing an error as well. So yeah, everything looks fine right here. Now what we need to do is, in order to make it function, we need to create a route, okay, so that we can send a request. Okay, so let's open web.php. Let's move down. Okay, so I'm looking for a portion where I created the route to send all the users back on the blade view. So this is the one right here. So I'm going to create a new route get, and this time the route name is delete user, and we are also passing an ID. So let's get it right here so that we can pass it to the controller, backend controller once again, and we need to create a method, and let's say the name of the method would be once again delete user. Not a problem. Okay guys, so now it looks fine. Now what we need to do is we need to create this method inside backend controller. So let's move to backend controller. Okay, let's move down. Okay, so this is the user related method. So I'm just going to create a new method just right here for deleting a user. So delete a specific user and her related record. Yeah, we can say that. Okay, yeah, makes sense. So let's create the method public function, and function name is delete user, and we are expecting an ID. So yeah, okay, let's GD the ID so that we are sure that we are getting our ID and we are successfully accessing our method. So let's do that. I'm going to refresh this page for now. Okay, let's inspect, go to network and get all user. Okay, so I haven't clicked on it yet, sorry guys. Okay, so yes, delete user, and now there we go. So everything is working fine guys. Okay, let's move forward, and we saw this pop up because we are not doing anything, so it just got back to this user.js and printed this swell file for success. Okay guys, now what we can do is we can simply find a user and delete it. Okay, makes sense. Okay, but this would be different from the other ones. So let's try to find the user first. User, find or fail the ID. That's it. Now we have our user, and we have all the blocks that are related to this specific user that we just found. So let's try to see the user related blocks, because I am sure that we would be able to see the user. So I'm going to move one step forward, and I'm going to print the blocks as well. Okay, I want all the blocks that are related to this user. Let's click on this, right click, reply XHR, and let's see what we have now. Okay guys, so now we are able to find the user related block. As you can see, it's right here. It contains 2 items, and the records are coming from app log. See, first one and the second one. So yeah guys, it's working perfectly fine. Now a regular delete can do let's say delete a user, and we would be able to delete the blocks as well with just this command. Let me just show you an example. Delete, and now we are deleting all the blocks that are related to this specific user and the user himself. Okay, so but in this case we are not going to do that. Why guys? Because let's move to block controller. Sorry, let's move down where we are deleting our blocks. So now I'm going to explain what we are going to do right here. Okay, so just be with me. Okay guys, let's say if in any case, because in our case if we delete a user, we are going to delete the specific user related blocks. Why? Because we have already implemented the cascade attribute in the migration files. Okay, so this part is clear. But let's say in any case, if the relationship was not there, or we haven't implemented the cascade, so what will happen? We with the help of this delete functionality, we are only going to delete a user. So in our case, we don't need this function right here. Okay, so I hope you guys are with me. So we don't need to delete a specific block. All we need to do is remove those specific blocks related image from this folder structure, because they are going to get some extra space right here. Okay guys, so this method is gone. We are not going to use it. Okay, let's move forward. Now guys, if you see, actually when we are deleting a block right here, we are also using a delete image method that is right here, okay, to delete the image, and we are passing the path and the image from right here, from this method. Okay, we are getting the path and the image right here, and then we are successfully deleting our image. Okay guys, so first case would be, let's say if we redirect a route directly to here and make some changes here and there, we can use this delete image from this controller as well. Okay, but that's not a good practice. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay guys, so the other best practice would be to use the inheritance. In this case, let's say if I inherit this block controller class in this backend controller class, we will be able to use all the methods from this class in right here, because this is the parent now when we inherit something. Okay, so when we are going to inherit this one, this is the parent, and we can access all the, let's say, the child classes. Okay, so this is the inherit functionality, but we are also not going to use the inheritance. Why guys? Because we only want to use this single function. So why would we inherit this? Because we have another way that we can simply solve our issue. Okay, so in this case guys, we are going to use trait. So let's discuss about traits as well. Okay guys, so when we create a trait, we can simply copy the common piece of code, and we can simply paste it inside the trait so that we can use it wherever we want. And once the trait is created, we have copied the code, the common piece of code, we can simply include the trait inside the class, the controller class, or the classes itself, and we can simply access them as if it's his own property or its own method with the help of this keyword. Okay guys, so I hope it makes sense. If not, it will just in a while. Okay, so let's move forward, and in order to create a trait, what we need to do is we need some extra commands. So let's implement the command to get some extra commands. Okay guys, so I'm going to stop my project right here, and I'm going to write composer require the anic / Laravel -more command and -- def, the flag. Okay, so this command is going to take a while to run, so I'm going to pause the video, and once it's done, I'm going to resume. Okay guys, so as you can see, it's done. So now what we can do is we can simply create a trait using the artisan command. So let's do that. php artisan make trait my trait, and now you can see the trait is created inside the folder structure right here, app traits my trait. So let's view the trait. I will move to app traits right here and my trait. So now what we need to do is we need to copy the common method that we can use in multiple controllers. So in this case, the method is this one. So I'm just going to copy this. Okay, let's copy this and let's paste it right here, and that's done. Okay, now what we need to do is guys, we need to include this trait into the controllers in which we want to access this method. So let's do that, and for that I will move to the backend controller, and at the top I'm going to import use app traits and my trait. Okay, so I hope it makes sense. And another additional thing that we need to do is we need to write it inside the class as well, and this time we need to use my this time we need to write use my trait. That's it, because now we have our namespace. Okay guys, so now we have successfully included the trait inside our backend controller. Similarly, we can include it inside the block controller because we are using the same method in the block controllers as well. So I will include it right here. First of all, I'm going to copy this, sorry, not copy, I'm going to comment this out. Okay. And we are going to test this functionality. Basically, we are going to test this delete image method for this functionality as well, if it's working or not, in the later part of the video. Okay guys, so let's include it here. Use my trait. That's it. Okay guys, let's move forward. Now what we need to do is, we have our trait in place. Now let's start implementing so that we can delete the images from the folder structure itself. So first of all, I'm going to put a check right here just to be sure that we have our user. If user, what you need to do is you need to, let's say we are going to assign the path statically. So let's do that. Path is equals to, and the path would be related to the images. So let's move to public and let's see the names. Okay, and the structure. So slash images slash blog images. I think I'm correct. Let's make sure. Yeah, so now it looks fine. So we have declared our path. Now what we need to do is we need to find all the blogs that have specific images, or we need to find all the actually we have all the blogs that are related to this user. We can simply access it using this, as I just showed you. Okay, but now in this case we need to loop through these record in order to take the images name out. Okay, so that we can delete the images from the folder structure. So let's move forward, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a for each. So let's write it like this: for each $user blogs, and handle them as an individual entity. So $blog. Now what I need to do is, guys, if you are confused like why are we defining a path and why do we need to get the image, because the reason is, guys, this method is expecting a path and an image in order to delete the image from the folder structure. Okay, so just to be on the same side, I just defined it now. Sorry guys. Okay, so let's move forward. Now we have a specific blog. We will be able to iterate through these blocks. So now what we need to do is we need to take the image out. So $image is equal to $blog image. That's it. Okay, now what we can do is we can simply access the method, this one, and as I have told you that we can access this method as if it's this class, as if it's the property or the method of its own class. So we can access it with the help of this. Okay, because now the delete method, we can say that this delete method relates to or is a part of this controller. So we can simply access it with the help of $this. So $this delete image, I will make sure the name is correct. Copy and let's paste it right here. Okay, so the delete image, and now let's pass the path and the image so that we can delete it. Okay, now let's move forward, and let's say we are going to do the iteration. That's why we are running the for each loop right here. Okay guys, so once we are done with this for each loop, like there are no records available and the limit has exceeded, or not the exceed, but let's say the limit is completed. Let's say if in any case we have 5 records and we have reached the 5. Now what we need to do is we need to go out of the loop in order to delete the user delete. Okay, now with the help of this we are going to delete the user and the blogs that are related to this specific user. Now what we can do is simply return success. Okay, and let's put an else condition. Else what you need to do is return response JSON, and let's say error, and the error is, let's say, not found, and the status would be, let's say, 404. Okay, so if in any case we have an error, we are going to return this error not found 404, and in the if block we are simply going to assign the static path, and then we are going to find all the images that are related to the specific blocks, and we are going to implement the delete right here. Okay, so now is the time that we test this functionality, because we know that we were able to reach right here this method, we were able to access this method. Now what we need to do is first of all, I'm going to create a new user, because I just need to discuss something else as well right here. Okay, so let's do that, and for that I will move to Firefox. Let's try to register. I'm going to register a new user. Okay, oops, so I think I forgot to run my project PHP artisan server. Yeah, this was the reason, sorry guys. Okay, so now I'm going to create a new user, and the name would be, let's say, remove. This is the testing user, so yeah, I can keep it. I always use this type of user for these type of functionality, guys. So register a user, and now you can see this was a simple user, but we are redirected to the admin dashboard. Why? Because we haven't assigned, or we haven't attached a role to the user that is created. Okay, so that's what we are going to handle it in the later part of the video, or in the upcoming videos. Sorry guys, in the upcoming videos we are going to handle this situation, because all we need to do is we need to assign the role when the user, let's say if a user is trying to register in our application, we need to assign them a role or attach them a role. Okay, and we are never going to create an admin user using this form. Just keep that in mind, because many people are asking me about the same question again and again, so that's why I needed to clarify it right here. So guys, for now I'm going to go with the similar approach, because we haven't implemented the seeder yet, and we are going to do that in the next video. So for now what I'm going to do is, let's move to database, and I'm going to assign this user a role. Okay, let's say insert. Okay, and the user is this one, and I need to assign this role, and let's do go. Now let's see the difference. Let's move to Firefox. Okay, I'm going to do a refresh, and now you can see it's 404 not found, because a normal user or a basic user don't have a right to access this dashboard page. And in the first place we access the dashboard page because of this. Let me just show you. So we are on the same page, guys. App, HTTP, controller, auth, register, controller. So whenever we are creating a user, we are defining a route for the admin dashboard. So we need to change that in the later videos as well. Okay, just to be on the same page, I needed to clarify this. Okay, so yeah, now what we need to do is, guys, we need to access the user dashboard. So I'm going to write user/dashboard, and yeah, everything is working fine, you can see. Okay guys, now I'm going to create a block, testing block, so that we can delete it and we can verify it. So first of all, I'm going to write some random text, because we are going to delete it anyway. Okay guys, so yeah, and guys, keep a watch on the name of the image. Let's say the test one. I'm going to upload the test one and the first one for the second block. So for the first one, I'm uploading the test image. Open, and let's put a random text. Okay, let's create. Okay guys, so block created successfully. Now similar way I'm going to create another one, so I'm going to pause a video. Okay guys, so now I have created another block. Let's say now we have two blocks, as you can see, and the image's name, let's see it in the folder structure. So let me open it. Public blog images, and right here you can see first and the test image. Now what I'm going to do is, to make things clear, I'm going to approve one of them. So I'm going to approve, let's say this one, the second one. So I'm going to click yes, approve it, and now let's access the front end. Now you can see that we are able to see the block that we specifically approved right now. Okay guys, so now what I am going to do is now we can test our user delete functionality, because we have created a testing user just for this purpose, and now you are able to see the user right here as well, because this user is also a basic user. Okay, so now before clicking on this delete, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a DD just to make sure that we are able to access this trait right here. So let's say if in any case we reach here, we are going to print first here, sorry, let's say trait, and now let's get the $path that we got from the backend controller, in this case $image. Okay, so if we reach right here successfully, we are going to see this. Else what I'm going to do is, let's say if we are not able to reach on this specific method, we are going to delete a user, and that's what I don't want, because I don't want to create a user again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my code right here. Okay, this is just for the testing sake. Okay guys, sorry, not like that, it should be a string. Okay guys, so I'm restricting a delete just to be on the safe side, that we don't have to create a user and the blocks again, the testing user. Okay, so yeah, let's move to the code and let's do a refresh. Now what I'm going to do is, okay, so we missed something. Let's see, if not here, DD, yeah, here, sorry guys, let's do a refresh once again. Okay, now let's click on this one, the second one. So let's delete, yes, delete user, and you can see we successfully reached our trait. So this means that everything is working perfectly fine and we successfully reached right here. So let's remove this DD, and that's why I always recommend to use DD to debug or to troubleshoot or to do like anything. Let's say if in any case you are facing an issue, you can always use DD. Okay guys, yeah, so let's remove this top as well. Now we are sure that we are able to access the trait specific delete image method. Yeah, so now we can proceed. Now what I'm going to do is, let's refresh this page and let's click on this delete, yes, delete user. Okay, so user deleted successfully. You can see it's not here right now. Let's do a refresh on the front end and you can see the blog is removed. Now let me show you in the database as well. Let's move to the blogs. I just want to show you that we don't have any of the blogs from right here. So the ID was 6 and the 7th, and right here you can see we only have 5 records. So yeah, the user is deleted, and to make sure I'm going to refresh this, and now you can see we are redirected to login. Why? Because the user doesn't exist anymore. Okay guys, so this is working fine. Now the last and the important part, we need to check if we have successfully deleted our images or not. So let's come right here, and now you can see that we don't have our images. So yeah, the functionality is working perfectly fine, and that's why the trait is helpful. That let's say if in any case you don't want to include all the methods, you can simply create a trait to specify the specific method that you need in multiple controller or blog, so that you can restrict the repetition of the code. So yeah guys, it's working fine. Now what I'm going to do is, just to be sure that this functionality is working fine, this time I'm going to count the images, because this time the images name are same or look similar. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to count on these. So yeah guys, I have 15 images in this case. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete a specific blog that is related to this specific user or the admin user. Okay, the reason is guys, we just need to check this functionality, or we need to check if we are able to access the delete. Let me show you. Let's move to the code. Okay, so you can see we are using the delete image from this trait in the block controller as well. So I'm just making sure that we are able to delete the image using this. Okay, and we are not let's say we are not doing any sort of mistake in defining the trait. Okay, so this is the important part. So let's just confirm, and these blogs are related to me. Let's see. Okay, second user blog. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this blog, my third blog, and this is right here. Okay, so let's remove it. So let's delete. Yes, delete. Okay, so the blog is removed. Let's do a refresh. Yes, blog is deleted. Now let's count the images just to make sure. Okay guys, so now I have 14 images. This means that we have successfully implemented our delete user functionality, and we are now successfully using the trait in both of the controllers. So yeah, that's why the trait is helpful, and you don't need inheritance like in some sort of cases where you let's say where you want to use one or two specific method in multiple controllers, you can simply use trait. Okay, so this is important guys. Okay, so yeah, that's it from this video guys, and in the next video guys we are going to delete all the records. And let's say if in any case we are not going to delete all the records, maybe we can refresh it, or the important part that is related to next video is we are going to implement the seeder for the roles, so we don't need to create them manually from the database. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. So in the next video we are going to implement the seeder for the roles, and then we are going to proceed to make the relevant changes, so that let's say if a user is trying to register or log in, he will be redirected to his own dashboard, either if it's admin or a basic user. So yeah, that's it from this video guys, and I hope you guys like this video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you, take care, and yes guys, be ready. Okay, take care.